Lol. Good morning. Happy Saturday. Saturday is Ojo Abameta, the day of three suggestions. So you just want to keep your mind open, right? Keep your mind open for some suggestions that can kind of help you get to whatever that destination is a year from now, 5 years from now, 10 years from now. All right. What we're going to talk about today is making your ego work for you as opposed to allowing it to work against you. We're really going to try to hone in on what is the ego and how can we make it work for us as opposed to working against us. My name is Carter Hughes. And as always, these sessions are just tools that you can use along your life journey, right? We all have various destinations that we're going to in life. A lot of these sessions just help you to identify the tools that are at your disposal, right? So you can clearly identify your destination and have a better understanding of what you're going to do to get there. All right. So we'll get right into it. What is ego? All right. Number one, as we always do with these sessions, number one, we define the concept. Number two, we tell you exactly what to do. And number three, we encourage you to get started today. All right. So, number one, what is ego? Ego is how you feel about you in relation to the group. All right. And by the group, we mean anybody around your family is a group, co-workers a group, your fellow students at school, that's a group as well. Your community at large, a group as well. Teams that you play on, that's a group as well, right? So how do you feel about yourself in relation to the group? And with most of these things, we're going to look through it with the lens of duality, right? So we're looking at the unhealthy ego versus the healthy ego. We're going to identify some manifestations of the unhealthy ego and also identify manifestations of the healthy ego. And we're going to encourage you to use that healthy ego to help you to arrive at your destination. All right. It's a beautiful life out there, beautiful opportunities. Set your goals. Don't be afraid to set your goals. Believe in yourself, picture what you want, and be willing to write it down and get serious about it. All right. You can never hit a target until you clearly identify what that target is. All right. Unhealthy egos first. Okay. So a few manifestations of the unhealthy ego are putting self above the group, putting self below the group, and being willing to gain at the expense of the group. All right. Self above the group. Now, this is the person that thinks they are inherently higher than the group, right? And this will ultimately lead to chaos and turmoil because it's untrue. We're all human beings with similar capabilities. What makes the difference in a person's life is action, right? For example, maybe we could all be Steph Curry, right? As far as height, build, things of that nature. But only Steph has taken the necessary steps to become who he is, right? The difference in the group comes down to action. You may make better choices than someone else. You may even produce at a higher level than someone else. But the homeless man is no less capable than the millionaire, right? The homeless person is no less capable than the millionaire, right? We all have similar capabilities. We all have 24 hours in a day. But what makes the difference is the action, right? The action is what makes the difference. So thinking you're inherently better than someone else is just not true. Unless you're a different being, you're a different form of being, then okay, maybe you got me. But as human beings, we all have similar capabilities. It's all about what you're going to work to refine. Are you sharpening your skills? If so, you're going to move sharper through the world. And the same goes for believing you are inherently lower than the group, right? This is another manifestation of that unhealthy ego. This is the easy for you crowd, the folks who are convinced that the next person has it easier, has it better, right? Also untrue, all right? And this is also an unhealthy way to look at things, right? We can all be as great as the next person. whoever you idolize in entertainment, music, or the arts, or technical fields, whatever the case, the people that you look up to, you need to compare yourself to those people, right? Because they're not operating with anything more than what you have. All right. So you do want to have people that you look up to, people that inspire you, but you should also compare yourself to those people, right? Why are you drawn to those people? You probably have similar skills, similar talents, where they've chosen to refine their talents, to improve their talents. Maybe you haven't chosen to do so as much, right? So you want to use that energy to start refining your talents. Start doing some of the things that they do, right? Start comparing yourself once again to those great people. So you can start moving closer and closer to that greatness. Success, largely about choice. One example of this in my life is I just learned how to solve a Rubik's Cube, right? In my 39th year of life, I just learned how to solve it. And I also taught my daughter to solve it. My daughter is 9 years old, right? And it was tough for her. She wanted to quit. I told her she couldn't quit, and now she can solve a Rubik's Cube. Right now, she has a skill that immediately makes her stand out in the crowd. Right, so she takes it to school, takes it wherever she takes it wherever she goes. Right, and she's showing off her skill. And I frequently ask her, has she met anyone else who's been able to solve the Rubik's Cube? And it's been about, say, 6 or 7 months now, and she's only met one other person that's been able to solve the Rubik's Cube, that's shown her that they can solve the Rubik's Cube, right? So I asked her, why is that? Why are we the only ones that can solve this Rubik's Cube? Is it that we're the only ones who are smart enough, right? That's what I asked. That's the question I posed to her. Is it that we are the only ones who are smart enough? And she says, no, because we use an algorithm, right? That's tough to say, algorithm. We use an algorithm to solve the Rubik's Cube. So it's like instructions. You just follow the instructions and the thing is solved. Is it lengthy? I guess it is fairly lengthy, but it is like, words you can read and do them. And you can solve the thing by just following instructions, following the algorithm. So she says, no, it's not because we're the only ones smart enough, because it's an algorithm. So we're just following instructions. So I'm like, why? Why then are we the only ones that have done it? And she says, it's not that we're the only ones who can do it. We're just the only ones who have taken the time to follow the algorithm. And that's largely life, right? That's largely the cliff notes to life, the cliff notes to success. It's not that success is not attainable for everybody. It's just that some people have taken the time to, consistently implement those steps that lead to success, right? There is no difference in capability. The only difference is in choice, consistent choice every day. Only some folks have shown that discipline to follow those success steps every day, right? And you understand that you'll be doing it in a crowd of people who are doing the opposite. So it's about having belief in yourself as well, even when those around you don't understand it. Everything is not for everyone to understand, right? That's one of those realities of life, So putting self below the group, also a very unhealthy way to look at things. As human beings, we are all amazing. We all have endless potential, right? Most of us haven't really even scratched the surface on what we could accomplish, who we could become, if we really put our minds to it, right? Put our minds and our hearts into it consistently, right? And self below the group, self above the group, and that last one will be gaining at the expense of the group. Another illustration of the unhealthy ego, right? And what this does, and these are the folks who, cheat, steal, rob, kill, whatever, to get whatever it is they're after, right? And this is a short-sighted way to look at things, because ultimately, if you burn enough bridges, you will soon become an island, right? And the only way to fortune that I'm aware of is through the people. The only way to generate a fortune is to provide a fortune of service. If you want to make a bunch of money, figure out how to help a bunch of people, right? Compensation and impact kind of go hand in hand. So if you want a lot of compensation, you need to figure out how to have a lot of impact, how to have a big impact, right? So this idea of gaining at the expense of the group will, in the long term, keep you experiencing those trials and tribulations, right? It's not a positive way to go about things. And since we've talked about the unhealthy ego, once again, self above the group, self below the group, gaining at the expense of the group, all unhealthy ways to use your ego. All right, we're now going to talk about some healthy ways to use that ego. Right, number one, thinking about yourself in service of the group. How is it that you help those around you? Right, think about that. Get serious about that. Try to do more of that. All right. How do you help those around you? The skills that you have, the talents that you have. How do you use them to help those around you? Right. It's important that you're clear on that. What role do you serve in the group? If you take the time to really sit back and look at your roles, more than likely you serve the same role in each group that you're a part of. Right. So there's kind of some kind of natural and instinctual way that we all behave after a while. We all are who we are. Unfortunately, a lot of people don't take the time to really understand who they are. That's what we're asking you to do. Take that time to understand, what role do I serve in my groups, right? Am I the helper? Am I the cheer upper? Am I the comic relief? Am I the one making the serious decisions? Are folks coming to me for guidance, for advice? Are they coming to me for technical information? Right? What is your role? Get clear on what your role is in your group. It's normally connected to who you just naturally are as a person. All right. And number two, gain in the interest of the group. Right? So you should never look to take someone else down to put yourself up. All right. This is the old-fashioned hook up the discount. Going to a place of business where someone works, right? Should you want to give this person less in order for you to get more? Or should you want to give them more to support them and support what they're doing? Right? It's just a different way to look at it. It's a healthier way to look at it. Right? We're not all here to eat each other, right? Not pull each other down so we can climb up. No. No. We can all climb up together. Right? We could all raise the level of the platform together. Right? So we have to think about that, especially with friends and family. Give them more. Right? Make sure the service is good, of course. Make sure the product is good, but give them more. You want to gain at the interest of the group. You want to see your people get better, become more valuable. Right? You want to see that for yourself, and you want to see it for the group. Right? Another key, little trick in life, the folks who talk negatively about the group. Now you got to understand that how we talk to the world is also how we talk to ourselves. All right. So keep that in mind with the person who may seem angry and mad. A lot of times that's just a sad person. All right. And anger and all those things are rooted in sadness, rooted in some sense of loss. They feel like they've lost something. They're sad about it. And this is how they're choosing to deal with it. All right, so let's keep that ego healthy. Let's gain in the interest of the group. Let's think about ourselves in service of the group. How do we help? And how are we helped? Right? That last one, how do you help? How are you helped? Being clear on how you help people and how people help you. Right? Being clear and having that gratitude to kind of fuel that advocacy, right? To fuel that Samaritan nature, right? Because we're all part of a group and we've all been helped by various people. Everything that you read has been written by a person. This computer I'm using was created by people just like me, right? So what is my contribution, right? How can I contribute? Someone built this table. Someone built these computers. I actually built that table over there, but but you know what I'm saying. Everything that we have around us has been built by people. So I think it's important to kind of take a step back every now and then, just acknowledge, like, wow, people are amazing. People are amazing. So what is my contribution? Right? I'm a part of this thing as well. I'm a part of this group as well. what is my contribution? All right. And that is very important in order to have that healthy ego. What is your contribution? How am I helping? And how am I helped? All right. Having those things in clear perspective will really, really, really help you to amplify your value. All right. Provide a fortune of service if you wish to make a fortune. Key to life. You can have whatever you want in life as long as you're willing to help enough other people get what they want. All right. That's what this thing is about. You know, we're given gifts. How can you use your gifts to help everyone else? That's the key. Believe it or not. Believe it or not, man, it works like a charm, you know. Not gonna lie to you. But yeah, provide a fortune of service, you know, thinking about yourself in terms of, once again, how do I help people? How have I been helped? Right? Simply repaying a favor. That's all we're doing. We're all lucky to be here. Someone brought us here, dropped us off in this thing, and now it's on us to figure it out. And as always with these sessions, just another tool for you to use along your journey, right? Make your ego work for you. When your ego, how you value yourself, is rooted in how you're valued by those around you, the sky is the limit. All right. So sharpen your skills. First, identify your skills, then sharpen your skills, and then use those skills to change the world. All right. And just changing a couple, 2, 3 people around you, you've changed the world. Trust. All right. Doesn't have to be that big and crazy. But yeah, there we go. Make your ego work for you. Once again, my name is Carter Hughes. If you have any questions or anything for me, carterhughes20@gmail.com is the email. It's in the book also. And the book is Finding Your Superpowers on Amazon.com by Carter Hughes. I wish everyone the best. Hopefully you can use some of this information to make your next week a little easier, which may make that next year, next 5 years, next 10 years a lot more beautiful, right? Sky's the limit. You guys are amazing. Continue to refine your talents, right? You deserve it. It's a beautiful life out there for you, and I want you to see it. All right? Have a great day.